All right, guys, today we're going to finish yesterday's lesson. So we got to question number 26 in the lesson. Hopefully you guys have completed that. I have not looked at grades just yet, but we are going to complete the remaining part of the lesson. Now, before we do this, there were some questions on one of the, well, actually a couple of the examples. So I'm going to go over this real quick before we actually start on the lesson. So we have one large rectangle right here, and the dimensions are 2 and 28. And what I want to do is I want to decompose that 28. I want to go ahead and make a line in my rectangle, and I want to break 28 up. Decompose is just another word for breaking up. I want to decompose that 28 into two numbers that if I add them together, I get 28. So if you look, I went ahead and did this already. So this rectangle right here is 2 by 20. So, and if you look, it covers, I went ahead and made this so I could move it. It covers right there. And then this one covers right here. So ultimately what we're looking at is we're looking at two rectangles that I just went ahead and broke apart. And I went ahead and did 20, and then I did 8. So 20 plus 8 is 28. But if you notice, what it has in common is that 2 right here. Okay, so to find the area of this entire rectangle, we would just simply do 2 times 28, and that would give us the entire rectangle. But what they're doing with that distributive property is they're saying, okay, how would I find the area of this rectangle right here? Well, I would do 2 times 20. And then how would I find this one right here, the area of this? I would do 2 times 8. So then what they're asking you to do is write it in that distributive form. So what is in common? What number is in common with these two rectangles? Well, there's a 2 here and a 2 here because the height or the width is going to be 2 no matter what. The only thing that we decomposed or changed was we went ahead and we took 20 and 8. And if we do 20 plus 8 together, we're going to get 28. So in order to write this as an equation, or sorry, is with the distributive property, we're going to take our 2 because that's in common with both of them. And then in order to get this entire length right here, we would have to add 20 plus 8. So we would multiply that by 20 plus 8. So this right here is showing that the 2 is in common outside of those parentheses. And when we see parentheses, I like to put a little dot there to remind me when I see parentheses, it's multiplication. So in all reality, what this is doing is we're taking 2 times 20. Oops, I should have did it the other way. Here, let's go ahead. We'll just do this. 2 times 20. And then we're adding it. So this area plus this area will equal the entire area. So actually, let me delete that. I don't like it. Eraser. I don't want you to get confused. So in order to use that distributive property, we're doing 2 times 20. So if we do 2 times 20, 2 times 20. So I'm going to write that down. 2 times 20. Then I'm going to add it because I want the entire area of that big rectangle. I would have to add that to 2 times the 8 because I would find one area of one rectangle and then one area of the other, and then I would add them together. Now look, there's my addition sign. There's my addition sign. And then 2 times 8. So we learned it this way. The only thing different is this is very visual now. So 2 times 20 plus 2 times 8. So when they're asking you to write it as in the distributive property, they want you to write it like this, that common factor, and then what you've decomposed that length into, okay? It didn't have to be 20 plus 8. You could have done 2 other numbers as long as that when you add them up, they equal that. And then they wanted you to show that that is equal to 2 times 20 plus 2 times 8, okay? So I just wanted to clarify on that.